People who have high adherence sooner or later always find a great job, which is just further to illustrate the fact that if you build the right skills, outcomes will happen. For example, we're actually doing we have a placement report where it says that, look, I mean, 70% people complete, but out of the 70% people who complete, more than 96% are able to make the right kind of job transition. And the ones who don't, they are usually people who went outside of India, or they had some or the other commitment, right? So it's not like they wanted a job and they were not able to get a job. So you should look at this number, that this is what has happened in the past. This is not absolutely no guarantee of the future. But what it tells you is, if you focus on the right thing, if you look at building the right capabilities, with or without scaler, with the right skills, with the right capabilities, you will eventually succeed. On that note, I will move on to Q&A. But before I move on to Q&A, I'll just pass it on to my colleague if they have anything to add.
Yes, I just wanted to confirm if everybody is able to look at the resources which we shared. Are you all able to access the resource, the YouTube video links, etc. on the notice board? Yes? Thank you. That is what I wanted to confirm. Something else that I wanted to share with you is the dashboard which Sir was talking about. So I'll just share that as well. Just give me 1 second. All right. Yeah. So this is the Scalar dashboard where you can check out people who got placed, what kind of placement did they get. You can download the curriculum. You can check out what the what are the things that will be taught. You can check out something else that I had to share with you is that we have recently partnered with IIT Roorkee, and for people who have more extensive coding experience and looking for more advanced courses, we have launched an advanced AI and ML program with IIT in collaboration with IIT Roorkee, where we'll be teaching topics like LLM and RAG. So if you're someone who's interested in that, please do get in touch with the counselors and help and get answers to all of your doubts and questions. Questions, I think there are more than 12, 13 questions, and we'll be taking a lot of questions from here. People who have um, uh, gaps, people who are coming from a different field. So we'll be taking questions which are more generic in nature, and we'll be passing it over to Sir to answer those questions. For any questions which are more questions which are more personalized and questions which may be direct at someone's own personal journey, we'll be passing it over to the counselors. And if you have not yet participated in that, the poll has been launched once again for everybody, because in the next segment we'll be taking few questions. But if you feel that you have a personalized question and a personalized doubt, which you feel that if you get in touch with a counselor, they'll be able to answer better. And if you have questions and doubts, I think somebody also DM'd me. Archit, if you're here, please participate in this. You have a good question, but again, I do not want to give out any half information, uh, information which is not true, which is not correct. I am so sorry, but I'll not be able to answer that on the basis of just a few lines of what you have described about your job role. So if you're someone who's wanting to understand, hey, is if I am coming from a tech field, if I want to upskill, is AI/ML the correct field for me? Should I opt for cybersecurity? Should I go for AI? Should I go for, or should I just continue in software only? So for all of those questions, just participate in the poll, redirect all of your questions to the counseling team, and they will be able to help you take it better, because then they will understand what kind of background you're coming from, what kind of studies have you done, what are your goals for the future, what is your professional experience, and then they'll be able to give you a roadmap which is more aligned with that. So if you're someone who's interested in getting in touch with them, the poll is active. As soon as the poll is done, we'll be handing it over to Sir, and we'll be continuing, we'll be taking some of the generic questions, as I said, which we have passed, and he has made a sort of a deck there. So he'll be answering those questions and those doubts. If you're still here, and if you still, I mean, if you feel that you have not gotten answers to your questions, also, just in case, get in touch with the counseling team, click on yes. If you have not got your answer, they will help you out. And if you already have gotten an answer, you can just choose to skip this poll. It's totally fine. You can click on maybe later as well. But yeah, highly request everybody to participate in the poll which is running. Perfect. Handing it over to Sir for any more questions and for the FAQ round. Over to you, Sir. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Just quick check, everybody. Like, can you see my screen? I actually put together some common questions uh, from what we collected before the session. So if you see those, then maybe I start to answer those questions. All right, the first question is, what programming language should I learn coding in? Does Java have any future? Usually I prefer that you learn, if you're learning coding for the first time, you learn it in a low-level programming language. I mean, for example, C, C++, Java, these are lower level versus, let's say, Python, Ruby, they are high-level programming languages. So high-level programming language, they hide away the details. And sometimes when you're learning something for the first time, you want to know the details so that you understand how things are working internally. So if you're learning coding for the first time, firstly, start with the assumption that you'll probably in your lifetime, you'll learn a lot of programming languages. So you have to be good at the art of learning. Two is Java is a great choice if you're starting with learning coding. C++ also equally good. C also equally good. Does Java have any future? I mean, again, there are going to be new programming languages always. However, look, I mean, today, most of the banks, all of the BFSI sector, banking, finance, insurance, all of these companies, they have their code bases in Java. In fact, almost everybody, even today, builds their backend, etc., in Java, which means that even if a transition has to happen from Java to another language, it's going to take years and years to happen, right? So if you're learning Java today, a good thing is today you'll find 60 to 80% of the jobs are Java focused in larger companies, and that plays in your favor, and it's not going away anytime soon. In general, if you're open to learning new languages, even if it does go away at some point of time, you will learn a new language very, very quickly. If you know one programming language in depth, learning a new programming language just takes you a week or more max. Second question is, how are recent developments in AI like Devin going to impact software jobs? Should I go for ML now, or does software engineering still have scope? Look, there are two. Firstly, look, I mean, software engineers have always been code stitchers. Before Devin, I mean, by the way, Devin is not equally very effective today, but it will become effective at some point of time. But before Devin, there was GitHub Copilot. Before GitHub Copilot, there was Stack Overflow. The way software engineers would write code was that for the given use case, they would find out the code snippet. They would go through the code snippet. Does it work for my use case? If it does, then they would try to integrate. They would test it, and then, I mean, once they are satisfied that this is the best way to executing, then they basically send out a pull request. So that is still going to be the behavior. It's just that it's going to become much faster with, let's say, tools like Devin. So instead of looking at, hey, look, I mean, AI is going to replace my job, AI is going to make you better at your job. It's going to make you more efficient. It's almost like the movie Avatar, where you get to wear that exoskeleton and suddenly you are this big robot who can fight big wars. You'll become like that. Which means for the current things that we do, you will need fewer software engineers. Microsoft, if it only does what it does today, might need fewer engineers. Google, if it only does what it does today, might need fewer engineers. However, one of the other things is that with the recent advancements in AI, there are so many problems which we could not have even dreamed of solving before, which will get solved today. There are going to be a lot more companies. There are going to be companies which will do interior design for you. There are going to be companies that will do wedding planning for you, all driven through tech. So a lot of sectors are going to get disrupted in the future. There are a lot of thousands and thousands of new companies that will get created, which means while for the current job, the number of software engineers would be lesser, but there are going to be so many new sectors that are going to require more and more software engineers. Today, they have 0 software engineers. So if you look at both combined, then, I mean, there is a lot of need for software engineers in the future. There are going to be people who will build machine learning models as well. But look, I mean, you only need a fewer set of people building the right kind of machine learning model and tuning the model. You're eventually going to fall back to the giants like ChatGPT, etc. So both fields equally important and equally attractive. Don't take a premature decision and and be driven by insecurity. Don't worry. I mean, software engineering is going to be there even for the next 10 years, 20 years. Another question, I have a career gap in my profile. How can I get good opportunities? Firstly, understand why do companies not prefer people with career gap. Sometimes companies have